So, hello everyone, welcome back. It's lovely to see you all. We'll switch the doorbell off. There we go. All right, so let's start by going into the superpower state. So take a deep breath and go into the superpower state however you normally do that. So either by repeating your word or phrase, using your anchor, or imagining hugging your subject. And start to feel your heart opening and expanding. Feel that physical expansion feeling in your chest. And if you're not able to tune into that feeling immediately, think about all the things you love about your subject and really focus on that. And then start to notice that expansion feeling. Very good. Now allow that light or energy that's shining out from your heart, allow it to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy. Good job. And now fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body with that same light or energy. Love each cell just for existing, no matter what. Think of the cells of your body like you would your children. Love each one, just for being. Very good. And if there's any particular issues with your body, send extra light and energy and love to that area of your body especially. And love it no matter what, exactly as it is, without needing it to change. Good job. And now fill the little you, yourself as a child, any age, with that same light, that energy, that love. Love that little you just for existing. And allow that light or energy to overflow from that little you and fill your whole childhood and everyone in it, shining that light into any darkness, using your power. Very good. And now fill everyone in this group, everyone on camera and everyone off camera in the group today, fill them all with that light, that energy, that love. Allow it to fill each person. Very, very good. Good job. All right, you can open your eyes if you haven't closed. Very good. And now everybody's shuffled around on my screen again. So this time it's going to be Lisa first, but I don't think you mind going first. Do you, Lisa?
No, not at all. I was reminded to, when I'm doing the superpower state, to smile at everything, because I noticed that if you're just like this, it's like, but when it raises your vibrational frequency. So I have stuff to read. So I picked cards this time. So I'm going to show them. I can decide today to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy.
Yes.
When I'm connected to love, I feel a sense of certainty, magnitude, and ease that I've never known before.
Very good.
The more I attune my energy with appreciation and love, the more the universe will deliver effortlessly. So my super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith in love, and the joy I put out. I hope that makes sense. It's good to feel good.
There you go.
Feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. And this is the last one. I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love.
Very good. Excellent.
So then,
yes, I would clarify that one with saying you can love the fear.
Yes, that's. And then somebody gave me a Snoopy with a little cape on, so I drew So I drew hearts on it.
Fantastic.
So you fly. So I can every time I look at it, I was like, "Ooh, get in that state." So
fantastic. I love that, Lisa. Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing those sayings.
Sure.
And they're all very appropriate. And thank you also for mentioning the smiling, because that is something that is, I remember someone saying to me, I can't seem to get into that state without smiling. And my answer is, if you're smiling, you're definitely doing it right. Because so I can't get into that state without smiling myself, and so that's number one. And number two, the other part of that is neurologically, as you smile, turning up the corners of your mouth, those muscles turning up the corners of your mouth trigger endorphins in your brain. So even if it's a fake smile, so even if you're not, even if you sit there grinning like this, it will start to produce the endorphins. So it absolutely is a powerful addition to the superpower, and an indication you're tuned in. So thank you, Lisa, for sharing that.
Yeah. So if you want to like eat ice cream, you laugh, ha 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 ha, you smile, or whatever you want to do. You bless your food with love, bless your body with love, everything. So it's really fun after you get into all of it. It's really cool. I love it. I love it.
Good.
Thank you.
So glad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for how much you contribute to this group.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. All right. And let's go to Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hello there, everyone, again.
How are you today?
I am very well and getting better, as I told Steve. And
good.
It's not easy, but it's simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in the same way, physical exercise, doing push-ups is simple. Absolutely. It's not easy, but it's simple.
I love that metaphor. It works very well for me, thank you. And so, so I come from a long line of people who get their tax returns in on time.
Very good.
I'll be doing that today. And I come from a long line of people who love being in the trees, hug the trees.
Nice. Very good. Lovely.
And I come from a long line of people who know how to transform themselves. That's right. I haven't got a script.
So that's good. And then I would take that one even further.
Yeah.
I come from a long line of naturally empowered people. So transformation is good, but they didn't even need to transform themselves. They're just naturally the way they, they're empowered, authentic selves.
Naturally empower themselves. Yeah. Good. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Chris. Lovely. And it looks beautiful there.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you for sharing that. Did you have any questions or targets for today?
There's always the target of me, the power of me. That's where it will start. Thank you. And the little me. Quite a lot has happened in the last 24 hours. That's good. So thanking that and sending more to it. Thank you.
Very good. You're very welcome, Chris. I'm so excited for you. Good job. All right. And then we have Tina. Hi, Tina.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
I'm okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions or targets for today?
No, actually no, except my whole body start to ache more and more and more. That's all.
Okay. All right. So we'll send some love to that.
Okay.
And that may be detoxing. So plenty of water. Drink more water than you think you need. Okay.
Oh, I drink a lot of water every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And drink extra, just, so I realized I thought I drank a lot of water because it felt like every time I went anywhere near the kitchen, I drank water. But when I started keeping track of it and writing down, or actually I used an app marking each time I drank a glass of water, I was drinking 4 or 5 glasses instead of 8 glasses that I thought I was drinking. So,
Well, I was drinking a lot of water and I end up in the hospital.
Oh.
On emergency because I started to have a weird pain in my arm and I was afraid could be something from heart or I don't know, because I have also issue with heart. And I went to the hospital, the emergency, and the first thing, when they check my blood, everything, the first thing the doctor asked me, how much water I'm drinking? I said, a lot. He said, you wash out everything. And he told me what I wash out. That's why I was like, he said, stop drinking that much water. So I'm afraid now.
Wow.
I drink water, but not too much.
I haven't heard of that before. That's interesting.
Oh yes, you can wash out all that minerals, that stuff, and yeah, I did that. So
okay, I think I'll do some research into that because that's I've not heard that before.
And being in the hospital that time, I was drinking more water because I was nervous, and water, and more water, and I was like, okay. Yeah, right. You cannot do much. You have to know how much water you need.
Fair enough. Yes, I will research that as well. I'll look into it. Thank you for sharing it. Very good. So then in that case, if you're drinking enough water and then, make sure you're getting plenty of rest, plenty of sleep, and allow your body to, you may be fighting something off, some extra nutrients, vitamin C or whatever it is that you have. Just take care of yourself. So when you've got like achiness or anything like that, or very tired, treat that as all resources at the moment of fighting something off or processing something, and give yourself as much care and rest and nutrition and everything you need as possible. Of course, if there's a medical thing, check that, obviously. But if there's no medical issue, then because I know I did. I don't know if others do as well, but I used to force myself to do stuff even when I felt ill or tired. I would make myself continue working or work out or whatever, and I learned that then whatever it is just lasts longer. But when I take the time out, if I start to feel tired or fatigued, even if it's unusual, or if I feel ill or anything, I take the time out and I go, right, I'm just going to watch TV, I'm going to read, I'm going to sleep.
I do that, and I sleep a lot. Like today, you can hear my voice. I just woke up I don't know, I slept too much, and I sleep well, and I'm taking breaks. Like I do okay, and I have my vitamins, and I just search whatever I need. But yeah, like my arm and my knee killing me, and now my thumb and now today I woke up with my backache. So it's like adding more aches. It's like, I don't know. And I sometimes do exercise. I don't do exercise. I'm biking a lot. So I'm outside a lot. So like, I think I'm doing okay. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So then we'll put them on the, Steve, can you add all of that to the list, to the target list? So we'll target those today, all of that. And then in addition to that, you might want to check if there's any references. So what does the pain mean, or what's the worst thing?
Yes, I did check. There is a lot. I don't know. I was working a lot on this, and still I woke up today, and like yesterday I was okay, and today I woke up and I say, shit, again, I'm back there. It's like,
okay,
I don't know what to do. It's like, I feel like it's something deep inside me, like it's something really, really strong.
Yeah.
A huge resistance. It's like, I don't know. I feel this so strong. I don't know what to do with this.
Thank you for mentioning that, because it's reminded me something I wanted to share today with everyone. So thank you, Tina, because you've just said something that reminded me. So what I want to share with you today is ask yourself this question. And this helped me a lot in the past. What am I not letting go of? And you need to be very honest with yourself. I know I was going, well, I'm willing to let go of anything. I don't know what it could be, I said to myself. But when I really kept asking that question over and over and made that intention to be honest, I discovered one of the things, for example, that I was not letting go of. So this gives you a kind of example. And I wasn't letting go of it because a part of me felt like I didn't want to, that I would lose out. And it was, I wasn't letting go of saying something when when something was wrong, or when somebody forgot something. So somebody forgot to turn off a light. Instead of just turning off the light, I would say, oh, you forgot to turn off the light. Mm-hmm. And there was, number one, there's nothing wrong with that because I said it politely, but I started to question, why do I feel the need to point it out? Why don't I just turn off the light? Because it really doesn't matter. And that the light was just an example. So there were things where I couldn't let them go. I had to say something. I had to point it out in a very nice way, but I was still pointing it out. So that gave me a little clue of a sneaky hidden reference that was, so, you know, my subconscious was going, it's okay, nothing to see here, move along, you know, there's nothing, no problems here. But that I started to look at it, and it was something from childhood where things are not right. People aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And although I wasn't triggered by it anymore, there was a part of me that still felt they need to know, a person must know. So does that?
I feel something like that. Like I know something from my childhood, me and my mother, yes. But I just cannot go to that core. I don't know, to the center of it. I know it's something there, and I know it's freaking strong. I don't know what to do with it.
So let's do this. So Steve, could you please put on the list for Tina, the core, whatever that is, the core, and let's just aim love at it first. And then in addition to that, Tina, when you think of your mum right now, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of your mother right now? Just even if
she always tell me what she wants me to do. I couldn't do what I wanted, and I think it's this. And I was like, I don't know, that stubbornness I think comes from there. Yes. And that I feel that rebel. I don't know if it's
rebel. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that like no, and like I was in trouble with her. Always I fight with my mother.
Yeah. So that makes perfect sense. So here's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for a stepping stone where you rebel and your mum goes, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't try and control you. Right? That's a stepping stone. Then the final memory is that she doesn't, so you create the opposite memory. So if you can't think of specific ones to change, just create brand new ones of your mum saying to you, sweetheart, I trust you. You know what you're doing. You have the freedom to do whatever you like. And the most important thing in the world to me is that you are happy. And like I was saying yesterday, create new memories of every time you walk in the room, both your mum and your dad, their faces light up. They're thrilled to see you. Oh, there you are. You know, that kind of thing. Create those memories. Now, if you can't do that, do justice letter.
Oh, I did so many justice letters.
Yes, and so have we. Sometimes you have to do more. So if you can change the memories, then that's okay. You don't need to do them. But if you find you cannot change those memories, it means there's still more in there, and you need to do it.
Yeah, it's hard for me, like you are saying, whatever, like the parents telling me, I can't do this. It's like,
okay, good. So
and I don't have that feelings. It's just I see picture, okay, but no feelings, nothing like you saying is kind of
okay. Very good, because I was just about to say what happens when you try. So you haven't got the feelings. That's what you're saying. So then it is definitely due justice. So when you write the letter, so tonight, do it tonight. Okay. Or today, this afternoon, whenever you want to, but do it today. Write that letter to your mother specifically about not letting you do what you want to do, specifically about you being held back from doing what you want to do, and see what comes. Just keep writing until you've got it all out of you and there's nothing more to say.
Okay, already I have headache. You see how everything is, I know is this
That makes sense.
where we talk right now, because just suddenly I have headache, like really.
Yes, and that's a good sign. So it's a good sign. And, you know, don't push yourself, don't pressure yourself, but do what you can to be able to do that, and then go to sleep so that your brain can process it, and then come back to changing your mum and see what happens.
Okay, I will do that. Right? Thank you.
Good job. You're very welcome, sweetheart. Good job. All right. And Swasti. Hi, Swasti. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So I think this is on a similar topic. So I was trying to change my grandpa yesterday. Thing we talked about, and my dad. And they just kept flicking back to their original actions.
Right.
And the visual of what happened originally kept coming back. So I think I need to do a due justice letter as well today.
Good job. Yes. Very much so.
Yeah, also in the visual I had, so I changed them to them being financially abundant, so having enough food for everyone.
Good.
But this thing of what if it runs out kept coming back.
Right.
And this reminded me of this whole coronavirus situation for some reason, because people are running out of food, you know, the toilet paper situation.
Yeah.
I didn't know where this link came from, but it did.
Yeah, very good. So that's fabulous. And so you want to change it to the opposite, positive, empowering. But I'm thinking, write the due justice letters first. So you can either write one to each of them, or you can write one to the two of them, whatever feels good for you. So write the letter, make it, get everything out. Allow yourself to be as vicious and unreasonable and whatever it is, as hateful and everything as you like, because it's cleaning out that wound. And, you know, a lot of people, I'm saying this for others as well who may be watching, the due justice letter, some people are hesitant to do it because they think, well, I don't want to create all those bad feelings, all those negative feelings. But with the purpose of the due justice letter is that those feelings are in you already. The letter is to clean them out, to get them out of you and onto the page so that your subconscious lets go of them, because your subconscious will think that you've spoken to that person. That person has heard what you've said, and that's the due justice. So yes, Swasti, I think do that due justice letter, one or two of them, however many you feel. Get it all out, then go to sleep, and then try changing them again and see what happens.
Okay.
All right. Very good.
You helped me with this other memory of expectations and parents coming back.
Yes.
Is that going to change the expectation of them coming back? So you said they go to a party together and then come back.
Right. So they go to a party together and then come back is the stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. And then the final memory is you all go together to the party. So they don't separate it from you.
Yeah.
And you all come back together.
Yeah. So that didn't really make sense to me.
Okay.
I don't know why, but because, well, they left me to go to India.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know why it didn't make sense.
So here's the thing, your subconscious doesn't know the difference and can't use the logic. Your conscious mind is using the logic. So the fact that they left you to go to India, India could be down the road. Your subconscious doesn't know. So, or they could have gone, they didn't go to India, they went to a party and then they came back. Or they went to India for a day and came back. The point is that they went away and they came back really quickly. And while they were away, you were having fun. You didn't even notice that the time had gone. It was like, oh, they're back already. Okay. Does that make sense? And that's the stepping stone. And then the final memory is you went with them or they stayed with you, however, or you all went together, then you came back.
Okay.
Does that sound good? So
yeah, that makes sense now.
yeah, good. All right. Good job.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Swasti. All right. And then Katrina. Hi, Katrina. How are you today?
Hi, Odille. Yes. So I, worked on memories that came up from yesterday.
Good.
So there was a lot of emotions there, but it's now zero tolerance? Tolerance, is that what you call it?
Good. Yep. Zero tolerance. Good.
Yeah. So I want to rewrite this to a happy story, but I need to tell you the happy story.
Yes.
No, I need to tell you the.
You need to tell me the original, you mean?
Yeah, and then to get some inspiration how to make it much nicer. So the memory was I was age 12 and I was smacked by my father. I was shocked. I could not believe what happened. I was protecting myself against my brothers who were kicking me. I shouted, stop, stop it. My dad did not protect me or keep me safe or show me any love or affection. Okay, and then a little bit after that is, I can't believe that I could not trust my dad in that moment. And then the second part of this is, when he died, the absolute shock of all shocks, he leaves me out of his will. The daughter was not acknowledged on paper. I did not exist. Wow.
Yeah, that's big stuff there. That's very, very powerful stuff. So well done for discovering it and for being prepared to change it. So have you got ideas for changing it already, or what you need?
I just need a new, to tell that differently.
An idea for the new memory?
Oh, yeah. I don't want this.
All right, very good. So what you're aiming for is, you're going to need stepping stones here as well. So stepping stone memory, you shouted to your brothers to stop. Yeah. Your dad heard, came over, and did whatever you were hoping he would do to protect you. Okay. So however that would have been the ideal situation, whatever he should have said, should have done, he does that. Practice that 3 times in a row, it's the stepping stone. And then the final memory can be that you and your brothers were playing something, a game of some sort. You were all playing together. You won and you shouted, I won! And your dad came over and went, well done, my little girl, my princess, or however that works. And he's so proud of you.
Okay, yeah.
Does that sound good?
I'll go along with that, yes.
Good, very good. And then the next piece is the shock that your dad, so that should, now you can change the shock. So this is for everybody. You can change shock to surprise, good surprise. So wherever in your childhood you got any kind of shock, change it to a surprise party. We're all going to Disney World. Here's a pony. You get your favorite doll or your favorite toy of whatever kind. Your favorite aunt or uncle turns up to visit. Change it to a surprise, a good surprise, something that that little you would have gone, oh! So bearing in mind, excitement and shock are similar feelings. It's just the context that changes. And anxiety as well, so anxiousness. So if you feel that jittery feeling or that worry, and you are finding things to worry about, you interpret it as fear, anxiousness, danger. But if you were feeling that same jittery feeling, and you were standing in line to meet your idol, your favorite pop star or author or whatever, you would interpret it as excitement, right? So change shock to excitement and surprise.
Right, that's not sort of sticking with me, that last bit, the will, because that happened when I was say 45.
Okay, so then, yes, so the shock I was referring to was to do with the fact that he didn't defend you. So you change all of the childhood stuff first. Now, then the will, you know, that's going to come later, and that'll be easier to change once you change those childhood ones. And then, of course, when you do get to the will, when you come up to the latest one, then change it to where you got everything. Right? You got everything. And your brothers are like, how could he leave us out of the will? And you go, well, you know, I was his favorite, but don't worry, I'll take care of you. I'll give you some, or I'll share it with you, or whatever, however you want to do that. But you were left everything.
Wow.
Because you were daddy's little girl, daddy's little princess. You were his favorite.
Well, that's a hard one to swallow. Yeah.
And the reason it's hard is because you haven't changed the childhood ones yet. Mm-hmm. So remember, for everybody as well, the childhood ones are holding the more recent ones, the adult ones in place. Those are the roots. The childhood memories are the roots. You need to change those first, and then the rest will be much easier to change, and they may even change spontaneously on their own once you change those roots, those childhood ones. Now, if you can't, at any point, if you can't change any of the childhood ones, or you can change those, but the will one is still sticking, due justice. Do a due justice. Use the brain plunger.
Okay, right.
And the other thing I just wanted to tag in on with that is a due justice, or going through the process of just bringing down the emotional charge in the memory. So when you think about that, those early childhood memories where your father smacked you, he wasn't there to protect you, that when you think about that memory, if it's still holding an emotional charge there, you may want to, or if you can't change it on its own to opposite, positive, and empowering, because that emotional charge is still there, you may need to bring that emotional charge down first.
Yeah.
Well, there's very little emotional charge, and probably why is if I go back to a little baby in a pram, can I?
Yes.
I didn't know which one to start with. So this was one actually, and I do believe it's because when I went to this today, I mean, unlike Tina, I really was there. I felt all of this. So an old memory was I was left as a very small baby in a pram in a very cold drawing room, and I was left to cry. I was all alone. No one comforted me. No one reassured me that I was safe. I didn't experience any attention or any affection. And that was definitely true 3 or 4 hours ago, as I was in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. Definitely it was.
You've changed that now?
No, I'm totally neutral with that now.
Okay, so that one you want to change first. So always change the earliest memory first, even if it doesn't appear to have anything to do with the others, change it first anyway, so that you are you're never left alone. There's always your mum and dad with you, always.
Okay.
All right, and it's certainly never cold. There's a fire, and it's cozy. And they're playing with you. Sorry, Steve. You want to say?
No, I was just going to say, and make sure that you embody the feeling of that. Imagine what it feels like to be that little you, that little infant being held, being comforted, to feel that love, feel that security. Yeah. So not only just imagining it, but allow yourself to feel the feeling of that memory.
Okay. Of the new memory, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
yes.
Mm-hmm,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Very, very good. So bringing the emotions down, of course, you use the superpower to do that if you need to, and then change them to the opposite, positive empowering.
I did use the superpower. I mean, it really sort of worked. I was very surprised, just leaning on it and nothing else, which I normally would be dipping in here and dipping in there, everywhere. But today was solely.
Very good. Good job. Good job. And now I wanted to add a little extra thing. The smacking, when he smacked you, you can change that to a high five. because you won the game. So instead of smacking you, he did a high five with you.
Oh, okay.
So that's an idea that you can use.
Okay, so it's still the noise, right? Yes. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I'll tell you, can I just say another wee bit about that? The reason why we got smacked, he was focused on money. It was a business money thing. And I was standing up. The rest were on the floor and they were sort of kicking around and whatever. And then he was so focused on the money thing. And then I then was shouting as in stop it. And then, so, but I wondered, does that have something to do with the money?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. There's most likely a link there. Definitely, I would say definitely. So you want to change it all so that, so the stepping stone where he stops what he's doing and he goes, he defends you and protects you in whatever way would have been ideal. Practice that 3 times. And then you're playing and you can leave the money in the memory, but in the new memory. All right.
Okay.
And there's plenty of money. There's always plenty of money. And so he's just, he's doing whatever he's doing with it, but it's in a lovely, relaxed, happy, abundant way. And most important of all is that link, that connection between you and him. That there's never any doubt that you are his world. That's what you're aiming for. All right? Does that make sense? Good.
You hit, something there. Yeah.
There, yeah. So that's what you're aiming for, definitely. Then, so if you start to feel emotional about something, it means that there's definitely something there to do. Good job. I'm so proud of you, Katrina. Well done, sweetheart. Very, very good. Beautiful, shiny example you are.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And then that's everybody who's on camera. Let's check the chat. So there's some hellos and things. Tina is 100% right about water. Okay. People are drinking way too much water these days. Action changes mood. Okay. So thank you for that. Kathy I'm gonna do some research on that as well, just to double check that. But thank you for clarifying that. And then Cheryl says, good morning, everyone. I'm happy to hear your voices. I'm having my mother-in-law over for lunch. That's lovely. So I'm preparing as I listen. Please send love to me and my work of letting go. I have 2 boxes in my space that have been there 3 weeks, awaiting organization. Thank you. All right. So Steve, have you got that on the list? Fantastic. Thank you. Kath says you can use my name. I would like to be the target for more new opportunities. Thank you. So Steve, have you got, that was to me privately. So Kath, new opportunities, please, to add to the list. Hi, Swasti, just an idea. Maybe you could do another in-between stepping stone where your parents apologize for leaving you and not paying attention to what it might feel to you when they left, and then giving you a big hug. I love that. That is an excellent idea. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm not saying your name because you haven't said to have your name, to share your name. So in case you want to remain incognito. So, but Swasti, that's a great idea. So if you want to give that a go as well, that's a very good idea. And thank you for sharing that. Okay, Katrina, you're a superhero surviving your dad's emotional abuse. I love you. Very good. Thank you. Thank the families, because these situations we all went through guided us all to the superpower love state with Stephen Odille. I think this is such a miracle. Thank you all for being here. It is so wonderful to be on this powerful, perfect path to greatness. Thank you, Lisa. That's lovely. Those are beautiful words and very true. Agree, Lisa. Cheryl says, I agree, Lisa, the superpower love state is where it's at. Excellent. And yes, it's amazing to have discovered this during these tough times. Yes, indeed. All right, great. So we got the target list, and let's do it. So take a deep breath and go into your superpower state. however you normally do that. So repeating your word or phrase, or using your anchor, or thinking of your subject, imagining hugging your subject. Start to feel that light or energy shining in your chest and your heart. Feel your heart expanding and opening. Very good. And allow that light or energy to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, and now allowing that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each cell just for existing. Very good. And now let's go to Lisa. Fill Lisa with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Lisa just for existing. Very good. Allow that light or energy to overflow from Lisa and fill the financial situations of the whole planet, whatever they are, whatever they become. Love it all anyway, exactly as it is, shining that light into any darkness. Very good. And now over to Swasti. Fill Swasti with that same light, that energy. Love Swasti just for existing. Filling her with that love, that light from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Very, very good. And allow that light or energy to overflow from Swasti and fill everything and everyone in her life with that same light, that energy, shining light into any darkness and loving it all exactly as it is, whatever may happen, using that power. Good job. And now to Tina. Fill Tina with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Tina just for existing. Very good. And now allow that light or energy to overflow from Tina and fill any aches and pains, any issues, any symptoms, headaches and body aches and pains. Fill it all with that light, that energy, shining the light into the darkness and loving it all exactly as it is, no matter what. And now allow that light or energy to fill the core issue, whatever that may be, whatever the original core is with Tina's mum. Fill that reference, that core, that root with that light, that energy, that love, loving it all anyway, no matter what. Good job. And now over to Cheryl. Fill Cheryl with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Cheryl just for existing. And allow that light, that energy to overflow from Cheryl and fill any stuff that she hasn't let go of yet. Fill all of that stuff that she hasn't let go of yet with that same light, that energy. Love it all anyway, whether she lets go of it or not. Shining light into that darkness, loving it all exactly as it is, without needing it to change. Good job. And now over to Katrina. Fill Katrina with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Katrina just for existing. And now allow that love, that light, that energy to overflow from Katrina and fill all of her childhood, all of those experiences with her brother and her father. Fill them with that same light, that energy, shining that light into any darkness, loving it all. Feeling that power. Good job. And now to Chris, filling Chris with that light, that energy from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Chris just for existing. Now allow that light, that energy to fill Chris whether she's empowered or not, amping up that power by loving the lack of power. And fill that little Chris with that same light, that energy. Love that little Chris just for existing. And allowing that light to shine out from that little Chris and fill everything and everyone in her life, shining that light into any darkness. Very, very good. And now to Kath. Fill Kath with that same light, that energy, from the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Kath just for existing. And allow that light or energy to overflow from Kath and fill all opportunities, all new opportunities, whether she gets them or not. Love them all anyway, and love Kath anyway, whether she gets new opportunities or not. Love it all exactly as it is, shining that light into any darkness, feeling that power. Very, very good. And now to everyone who's not on camera, who's on this call, fill each of them with that same light, that energy, from the tips of their toes to the top of their head and out to their fingertips. Love each one just for existing. Very good. And allow that light, that energy to overflow from them and to fill their whole lives with that same light, that energy, that love, shining that light into any darkness, holding that state no matter what. Feel that light getting brighter, that power getting stronger. And the same for everyone watching the recording. Fill them with that same light, that energy. Love them just for existing. And now yourself later today. Whatever will happen, however you'll feel, whatever you'll be doing, love that version of you exactly as you are. Fill that version of you with love and light and energy. From the tips of your toes to the top of your head and out to your fingertips. Love it all anyway. And now open your heart further and receive the light, the energy, the love from everyone else here, including me. Loving you exactly as you are, no matter what. Filling you with that light, that energy, that power. Very, very good. All right, you can open your eyes. How was that for everybody? Any questions or comments? Good, glad to see it. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Fantastic. And then the weekly challenge. So keep moving forward with that weekly challenge. The weekly challenge of sending this power, this unconditional love to 5 to 10 people. You can start with 5 and build up. So starting with the easiest, people who are easy to send love to, and setting your target of someone who you don't think you could, and building up to that. So getting that practice in. So wonderful, everybody. It's so lovely to see you all as always. Look after yourselves. I'm so very proud of all of you. And thank you for the lovely comments and in the chats. And we will see you again tomorrow. Look after yourselves in the meantime. Bye-bye now.